Black Chaos comes again. Book 1, Black Land. Episode 3, The Mummy and the Cat by Alan O.W. Barnes.
After concluding his lecture, Mr. Phelan went over to point some things out to Oscar. Phelan discussed Egyptian art with Oscar. I overheard a few things Mr. Phelan said to him. As they conversed, I realized this is the reason. Well, maybe a reason. Oscar is the star reporter for the school newspaper. Mr. Phelan sees him as the star writer. So, Mr. Phelan gives him insights, all the best assignments, and all the best material.
Caitlin.
I looked up, hopeful that Mr. Phelan was about to include me in his conversation with Oscar.
Would you get me a cup of coffee from the caterers?
And that solidified my place. Hot soccer guy is the star reporter, while I'm the gopher. As I approached the line, I noticed Veronica Slater at the end. I spun, pretending to be interested in some artifact or another, hoping anyone else would get in line, providing a buffer between myself and the cheerleader. I didn't have to wait long. A band geek with whom I'm friendly named Bree got in line. Her hand was bandaged. "What happened to you?" I asked, indicating the bandage. Before she could answer, Veronica butted in.
Did you break it from too much? What instrument do you play?
Drums. I'm a drummer, but no,
Did you fall?
No,
I bet you heard it when you were cooking.
When Veronica said the word cooking, she stressed it and winked.
What do you mean when you say cooking?
You know, the blue stuff. The drugs.
She whispered this last bit. Bree rolled her eyes.
First off, the drugs are only blue as a plot point on one television show to indicate inventiveness on the part of the protagonist. The drugs aren't blue in real life. Second, I don't cook drugs. I don't do any form of drugs.
But you're a drummer, right? I thought they all did drugs.
No, you're thinking of football players.
Veronica looked genuinely confused.
Then how did you hurt your hand?
I was helping Mr. Phelan move some stuff at school. I got scratched pretty bad.
On some furniture?
No, there was a piece falling. Phelan and I both reached out to catch it simultaneously, and Phelan scratched me with his nails. They were unexpectedly sharp.
That made me laugh. The idea of Phelan with long, manicured, sharp nails struck me as funny, but no one else laughed. This entire exchange highlights the idea I've had rolling around in my head for a few months. The one I was just writing about related to how people see Bree. The idea is about expectations and how people see each other. Veronica isn't alone. Many assume stuff about people based on what they do or how they look. I think that's the first thing I've figured out about how the world works. I used to think it worked the way people tell you it works. They say that if you work hard and do good work, people will recognize it. But the world isn't a meritocracy. It's about relationships and how people perceive you. Because Phelan doesn't see me the way I want him to, I realize I need to change how he sees me. I need to change the way people see me. The question is, how do I want them to see me? For that matter, how do they see me right now? Do they see me at all? This is a problem for a lot of girls. If you seem too intelligent, people think you're a bitch. If you seem too stupid, people think you're a slut. I figure the trick is to be perceived as precisely smart enough, exactly likable enough, without seeming threatening. Damn, that's hard. So, I was at this museum trying to figure out how to appear to be the perfect girl, carrying coffee back to Oscar and Phelan, when I realized how easy it was for Oscar to be the ideal guy, and to be honest, it kind of pissed me off. I mean, here I am making likability a major mathematical conundrum. Meanwhile, hot soccer player seems to have all of that naturally. Jerk. Then I started to wonder, does he have all that naturally, or did he have to figure it out too? As I had that thought, I was looking at the 4,000-year-old remains of a girl who could be my sister, wrapped in all those bandages, her stomach, intestines, lungs, and brain cut out and placed in decorative containers. X-rays of her remains revealed a head trauma that likely caused her death. I wondered if she died because she didn't figure out the likability equation fast enough. Mr. Phelan was really into the books, so I decided to look at them. I thought maybe if I look at them long enough, I'll begin to understand them, which would be a point of commonality between myself and Mr. Phelan. Perhaps if I can figure out how to connect with Mr. Phelan, he'll give me better opportunities at the school paper, increasing the likelihood that I'll get to write better articles. I have it in the back of my mind that writing better articles may lead to a job or a scholarship, and I'll be able to get out of this town. I scribbled notes about the books and the other exhibit items on my digital tablet, occasionally taking photos with the camera built into the device. The Burden of Isis caught my eye. I picked up the book and flipped through the pages. I realized these were like psalms in the Bible, except about this goddess, instead of being about Jehovah. I wondered if that said something about these people. They worshipped women and men instead of just a man. I scanned a translation of the pyramid texts. The thing that caught my eye was this passage about another goddess, Bast, who was represented as a cat. She was both a nurturing mother and a terrifying avenger. I read about the slaughters of Bast that inflicted plague and other disasters on humanity. I read a prayer to Bast aloud to see what it sounded like. Beloved Bast, mistress of happiness and bounty, twin of the sun god, slay the evil that afflicts our minds as you slay the serpent Apep. With your graceful stealth, anticipate the moves of all who perpetrate cruelties and stay their hand against the children of light. Grant us the joy of song and dance, and ever watch over us in the lonely places in which we must walk. As I breathed this prayer, I caught Oscar's attention.